Can you tell me more about the money that you've spent on her?
I've never heard of romance scams. Are you saying Tina's a scammer?
My primary concern right now are your remaining finances.
In this episode, APS professional Angel Vasquez discusses allegations of financial abuse with 76-year-old Noah Jackson. Noah has provided details about an online relationship with a person known only as Tina and the nearly $12,000 they've sent as part of this suspected romance scam.
I'd like to ask you some questions to better understand how you're doing in certain areas of your life, like your health, your cognition, and your social support. How does that sound?
Whoa. No, why do you need all that? What does that have to do with romance scamming?
Great question. I appreciate you asking. It helps me to know how you're doing, your overall wellness, to find out what you might need, and how well you can protect yourself from being financially exploited. We talked about the possibility that you might be involved in a romance scam, and I'd like to help you with that situation. Additionally, depending on what your needs are, I can provide you with some resources and make some referrals for you for services that might be helpful.
Okay.
I'd like to start with your physical health. Do you have a primary care physician?
Yeah, I got a doctor, if that's what you mean. I can't remember her name at the moment.
Are you being treated for any medical conditions?
I got swollen feet. I take a water pill for that, and I take medication for my heart.
Are these your medications?
Yeah, that's them.
May I have a look at the bottles?
Sure.
This one here says Dr. Margaret Sullivan. Is that your primary care doctor?
Yeah, that's her.
This other one says Dr. Hamad Ghazi.
He's my heart doctor.
Okay, thank you. Noah, how do you manage your medications?
What do you mean?
Do you manage your medications on your own?
You mean, do I take my medications? Yeah, I take my medications. Sometimes I forget, but I usually remember to take them.
How do you get refills?
Well, once in a while, my niece comes by and she helps me call in the prescriptions, take me to the pharmacy.
I'm glad you have some help with that. In addition to getting your prescriptions, are there any other areas that you can think of that you might need some help with to help you in taking care of yourself?
Well, I usually take care of myself. Well, I don't drive anymore, so I need help getting around.
What about when your niece comes?
Well, she can only come by once in a while, and I'm grateful for that. But sometimes I run out of food and stuff like that.
What kinds of food do you have now? May I look in your refrigerator?
Sure. Don't mind the mess in the kitchen. Well, I'm a little low. My neighbor brought me over some food she cooked. She does that once in a while.
How would you feel about receiving home-delivered meals? The Senior Center here has a really great program. I could make that referral for you.
Well, it depends on how much it costs.
Well, the fees are based on a sliding scale, which means that they're based on your income. I'll know more when I gather your income information. I think we'll find they're very affordable. I'd like to switch gears now and ask you some questions about your memory. How does that sound?
Sure. You think I'm losing my mind?
No, not at all. Assessing your cognitive functioning, your memory is a regular part of our assessment. When a person experiences changes in memory or thinking, it could cause them to be at a higher risk, more vulnerable to being taken advantage of. So it's important to take a look at it. Have you noticed any changes in your memory or thinking?
Well, when you get to be my age, you're bound to forget a few things.
What kinds of things?
appointments, places I need to be, stuff like that.
Mind if I ask you some questions about that? What is your full name and date of birth?
Noah William Jackson, born November 14th, 1949.
You mentioned your niece. What is her first and last name?
Shelley. I'm not sure what last name she's using now.
And can you tell me where we are right now? Your address.
1792 Orange Avenue, apartment 215, San Diego.
State and zip code?
California, 92 something.
Can you tell me today's date?
Aren't we in May?
Close. We're in June. Can you tell me what year we're in?
2024?
Close. It's 2025. Can you tell me what season we're in?
Spring.
Yes, technically we are still in spring, but it's June, so it's almost summer. You're doing great. Now can you tell me why I'm here right now and what concerns we're discussing today?
Well, you're worried about me. You're here to help. You're with Adult Protective Services.
Perfect, and great use of those resources. And I appreciate you being open to the help and for letting me ask you all of these questions. When a person is being financially abused, it's helpful to know how effectively they can think through decisions. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about how you're handling and thinking through the situation with Tina and maybe about a few other things? Okay, let's talk about Tina. You said that you sent money to Tina for various reasons. Can you tell me more about your decisions to send the money?
Well, she was so nice to me at first. We developed a relationship and we're making plans to move in together. Her needing money just seemed like a run of bad luck. Things all falling down at once. If we could just get through her problems, we could move forward on making our own plans. I still feel like she's real, and she really needed the money. Are you sure she's not real?
Yes, pretty sure. Can you think of anything that would have caused you to hesitate in sending her the money?
Well, I guess if I thought about it more, I guess there never was any real proof of who she was or what was going on, other than her word for it.
How would you respond if Tina asks you for money again?
And part of me would say no. I really don't know who this person is or what's going on, but part of me would say yes, because I think we really love each other, and she said she'd always be there for me.
What would the potential consequences be of sending her more money?
Well, I don't have much money. I already sent her a large chunk of my life savings, and I might need money for myself. Things are getting more expensive, too.
Sending money to someone you've never met, is that something that you would do in any other situation?
Well, no, not that you put it that way. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I did it. I was lonely, and I felt she really cared about me.
Thank you for your willingness to have this conversation with me, and I appreciate how difficult it must be. Is there anything else that you want to tell me about this?
Well, I was married for 27 years before I lost my wife. We were always careful with our money. I didn't gamble, not even the lottery. We were careful with our money. This stuff about sending money to someone for this and that, I would never do anything like that. I don't know what got into me.
Well, I'm glad that we're talking about it now, and I have some ideas of how to help you with this situation. Would you be willing to take some steps to protect your money?
What kind of steps?
For one, by removing the app off of your phone that you've been using to send the money. You could also consider stopping contact with Tina. Is that something that you'd be willing to do?
I don't know about that. She relies on me for moral support with everything she's going through.
Remember how we discussed that Tina might not be who she says she is? It's possible that she's a criminal posing as a woman who's interested in you, pretending to care about you.
That's hard for me to believe. She sent me a picture of herself and her dog and everything. You don't know her like I do.
That's how these scammers operate. They get you to believe that they're a real person who cares about you. I am so sorry that someone might be doing this to you. You deserve companionship and social support, but it needs to be with a real person who truly cares about you and not just your money. I have a suggestion. What if you hold off on sending Tina any more money until you can meet her in person and get to know her better? Then you can decide if you want to continue or not.
I don't know about that. I really don't think she's scamming me, and I really want to help her.
I know that you do, and it seems like you really care about her. How about this? What if you just take a short break from sending Tina any more money and just see how she reacts? It might make you feel more confident that she's a real person, or it might show you that she is scamming you.
I could try that. But God, I hope you're wrong.
Well, I'm really glad that you're willing to try this out, and it's a really big first step. If you were to remove the app off your phone, do you know how to do it?
I didn't know how to put it on. How would I know how to take it off?
Would you like me to show you how? So you just press here, see, and then once you press confirm, the app is deleted. Should we go ahead and delete it now, and then once you see how Tina reacts to you not sending any more money, or if you meet her in person, then you and I can reassess your decision.
Well, okay.
What if Tina were to come back and ask you for more money? What would you say?
I'd just tell her flat out, no, I can't send any more money. I have no more money to send, even though I do. But she doesn't have to know that.
I think that sounds like a good plan. You said that in the past that you were always careful with your money. How do you feel like you're managing your finances now?
Well, my Social Security gets deposited directly into my bank account. I basically use that to pay for my rent and anything else.
Besides your Social Security, do you have any other sources of income?
I worked for the city for a number of years, so along with my Social Security, I receive a small pension.
You mentioned that you use your Social Security to pay your rent and other bills. What is your system for budgeting and paying your bills?
Well, you wouldn't call it a system, really. I call it a goes in, goes out system. The money goes into the bank, and if I have a bill or anything, it goes out. The hope is that there'll be something left over at the end, if there is anything left over.
Do you ever overdraw your account?
I have never overdrawn my checking account, not once in my life. Well, until recently, I got a notice from the bank. I accidentally spent more from my checking than I had. I should have transferred some money from my savings before I spent so much from my checking.
Have you resolved the overdraft with the bank? Is everything taken care of?
Yeah, they charged me a fee. I don't know why they did that. This is my first time ever.
Would you like some support managing your finances?
I don't think so. I've always done okay by myself.
Do you have anyone in your life that you could trust to help you with this?
Not really. Got no kids, just my niece, and she's busy with her own life and kids.
If we were able to identify a trusted person, would you be willing to appoint that person your power of attorney, or what we often call a POA, to help you manage your finances and protect your money?
No, not really. I think I'm doing okay on my own.
Okay, I respect your decision, but think about it and we can always circle back. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. In the meantime, here is a booklet that speaks to the services and the resources that we spoke about today. Thank you for your willingness to have this conversation with me, and I appreciate how difficult it must be.
I still feel like she's real, and she really needed the money. Are you sure she's not real?